stop what you're doing, because what I'm about to tell you will either transform your life forever, or you'll ignore it and stay exactly where you are for the next 10 years. 3 days ago, I witnessed a guy explain himself for 20 minutes to someone who clearly didn't respect him, seeking understanding from someone who didn't deserve his time. These men are everywhere. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you recognize yourself in these stories. Maybe you're tired of being overlooked, underestimated, and treated like you don't matter. You're not lacking confidence because you were born that way. You're lacking confidence because you were programmed that way, trained that way, conditioned to be predictable, controllable, manageable. But 5 centuries ago, one man figured out the real principles, not the pretty rules they preach in society, the actual principles that govern power, strength, and success. His name was Machiavelli, and he wrote the handbook for becoming unstoppable. I'm talking about becoming the type of man who walks into a room and everyone notices, the type who speaks once and everyone listens, the type who sets a boundary and everyone respects it. Always. I'm talking about becoming someone who cannot be intimidated, manipulated, or stopped. Someone who commands respect naturally. Someone who plays by different rules because he's operating on a different level. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 8 principles that will transform you from someone who gets overlooked to someone who gets noticed, from someone who begs for respect to someone who commands it, from someone who hopes for the best to someone who prepares for excellence. But here's my warning. Once you see these truths, you can't unsee them. Once you understand how influence really works, you can't go back to being naive. Once you become unstoppable, there's no returning to stoppable. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I refuse to be held back. I refuse to be stopped. Are you ready to become unstoppable? Number 1, transform your inner self. Right now, there are 2 people living inside you. One is uncertain, apologetic, and desperate for approval. The other is confident, self-assured, and commands respect. Every day you feed one and starve the other. Every choice you make strengthens one and weakens the other. Today we're going to starve the uncertain one and feed the confident one. Your uncertain self is everything you were taught to be. It's the voice that says, "Be nice," when someone disrespects you. It's what makes you say sorry when you did nothing wrong. It's the part that explains yourself to people who should be explaining themselves to you. This uncertain programming started early. Your parents wanted you to be good. Your teachers wanted you to be obedient. Society wanted you to be manageable. But manageable men don't build empires. Manageable men get overlooked and forgotten. Your uncertain self has been making decisions for you your entire life. It's why you tolerate disrespect. It's why you give people unlimited chances. It's why you put everyone else's needs before your own. It's why you're watching this video instead of living the life you want. But here's what your uncertain self doesn't want you to know. Every time you choose to be nice to someone who doesn't deserve it, you're choosing to be unkind to yourself. Every time you let someone cross your boundaries, you're teaching them that your boundaries don't matter. Machiavelli once said, "He who is not master of himself will always be a servant of others." Your uncertain self speaks a different language than your confident self. Learn to recognize the difference. Uncertain self says, "I don't want to hurt their feelings." Confident self says, "I don't want to compromise my standards." Uncertain self says, "Maybe I misunderstood." Confident self says, "I understood perfectly, and I don't appreciate what I understood." Uncertain self says, "I should give them another chance." Confident self says, "They already used their chance." The transformation of your inner self isn't violent. It's strategic. Every time someone tests your boundaries, your uncertain self wants to explain why the boundary exists. Your confident self enforces the boundary without explanation. Every time someone disrespects you, your uncertain self wants to understand why. Your confident self simply responds with appropriate consequences. Every time someone wastes your time, your uncertain self makes excuses for them. Your confident self protects your time like it's gold. Start paying attention to which voice is making your decisions. When you're about to apologize for something that wasn't your fault, that's your uncertain self talking. When you're about to explain yourself to someone who owes you an apology, that's your uncertain self seeking approval. Transform it. Not with hatred, but with choice. Choose strength over approval. Choose respect over being liked. Choose being influential over being popular. Your uncertain self will resist you. It will remind you of all the people who might not like the new you. It will show you all the times you tried to be strong and struggled. It will try to convince you that being influential makes you a bad person. Let it resist. Let it complain. Let it transform. Because on the other side of your uncertain self's transformation is a man who doesn't apologize for taking up space. A man who doesn't explain himself to people who don't matter. A man who doesn't beg for respect because he commands it naturally. Transform the uncertain self. Feed the confident self. Choose influence. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My uncertain self is transforming. My confident self is rising. Number 2, build the fortress mind. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest obstacle. Right now, it's probably chaos in there. Every criticism cuts deep. Every setback feels personal. Every challenge triggers an emotional reaction. This mental chaos is what's keeping you stuck. Today, we're building a fortress that nothing can penetrate. A fortress mind doesn't react emotionally to external events. It processes them strategically. When someone criticizes you, your fortress mind doesn't get hurt. It gets information about that person's character. When someone disappoints you, your fortress mind doesn't get surprised. It gets confirmation of what it already suspected. Most men live at the mercy of their emotions. They get angry and make impulsive decisions. They get hurt and make weak decisions. They get scared and make no decisions at all. Their emotions are wild horses dragging them wherever feelings want to go. Your fortress mind is different. Emotions become data points. Anger tells you someone crossed a line. Pain tells you someone revealed their true nature. Fear tells you you're about to grow stronger. Stop taking everything personally. When someone treats you poorly, they're not revealing something about you. They're revealing something about themselves. When someone tries to manipulate you, they're not showing your weakness. They're showing their desperation. Machiavelli once said, "A wise man acts in the present, shaping the future." Your fortress mind operates on strategic logic. It expects challenges from people, not because you're negative, but because you're prepared. When you expect obstacles, disappointment becomes manageable. When you expect setbacks, success becomes a pleasant surprise. Train your mind to see patterns instead of isolated incidents. That person who misled you once, they're unreliable. That friend who speaks negatively about others to you, they likely speak negatively about you to others. That person who disrespected you when they thought they could get away with it, they'll do it again if you allow them. Your fortress mind processes everything as learning opportunities. Every conversation teaches you about human nature. Every interaction reveals someone's true priorities. Every conflict shows you who's really supportive. Practice emotional intelligence. When something makes you angry, pause. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? When something hurts, analyze it. What pattern am I seeing? When something concerns you, examine it. What am I really worried about? The fortress mind doesn't mean you become emotionless. It means you become emotion-proof. You still feel things, but feelings don't control your decisions anymore. Logic controls your choices. Strategy controls your actions. Influence controls your life. Most men have fragile minds that crack at the first sign of pressure. You're building something that can withstand any storm. Build your fortress. Make it unshakable. Because once it's complete, nothing external can disturb the real you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My mind is a fortress. My thoughts are tools. Number 3, master the art of silence. The loudest man in the room is usually the most insecure. He talks because he's nervous. He explains because he's uncertain. He argues because he's desperate for validation. You're going to be the opposite. You're going to understand that silence is the ultimate display of confidence. When you stop explaining yourself, magic happens. People start respecting you more. They stop questioning your decisions. They stop testing your boundaries. They start treating you like someone who knows something they don't, because you do know something they don't. You know that your worth doesn't depend on their understanding. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your choices. You don't need to justify your standards. You don't have to defend your boundaries. The moment you start explaining yourself to someone who challenges you, you're giving them authority over you. Think about the most influential people you know. Do they explain themselves constantly? Do they justify every decision? Do they argue with everyone who questions them? Of course not. They make decisions and move forward. They set boundaries and maintain them. They speak when they have something important to say. Machiavelli once said, "The lion does not need to roar to be respected." Silence makes you intriguing. When people can't read you easily, they start respecting your depth. They imagine you're more